Hey, what's going on out there? Welcome to a new episode of LonsTV. First, a couple apologies. This is what happens to my head when I wear a hood and it rains outside, and I could fix it, but it would probably take a while, and I don't feel like taking the time. So, first of all, I am sorry about this. I know I'm not quite presentable at the moment. Also, I want to apologize for missing this whole week. I did a show on Monday, and I haven't done one since it. Here it is, Friday night. I was in San Francisco all week at the launch conference. I have a laptop. It has a camera. There's really no good excuse. I just got busy, okay? So anyway, I was at this tech conference for 3 days, and I saw a ton of cool companies. For those of you who may not be familiar, there used to be a conference called the TechCrunch 50, where 50 different companies would pitch their ideas, like 5 minutes each, and then a panel of judges would sit in quiet judgment of them, and then try to pick apart their ideas basically, and ask a lot of questions. And then there would be a lot of other companies presenting in like a demo pit area, and then at the end they gave awards for all the best companies. This is, the two guys who founded that event parted ways, let's say. One of them, Mike Arrington, is running TechCrunch Disrupt, which is a similar conference, and then there was the Launch Conference, which Jason Calacanis runs, which is also a similar conference. There were subtle differences between the two. I think the main one being that TechCrunch being TechCrunch, it was very much a media journalism event. Like Mike Arrington and some of the other people that he would bring in, lent it this air of, reporters reporting on these startups. And so that was, from sort of a third-party standpoint, like, present us your ideas. Well, what about this? Well, what about this? And almost not necessarily, like, picking them apart and trying to find flaws, but looking at them very, like, analytically and very objectively, like a journalist would. And I feel like Launch is a little bit more enthusiastic, a little more optimistic. It's run by entrepreneurs and investors. There's definitely a possibility that people on stage will actually invest in the companies being presented. And in fact, in some cases, Green Goose being one example, that actually happened at the event where they raised, I think, $500,000 in seed money at the actual event. So that adds an element of, it's just, there's a little more, it's livelier and it's more upbeat because there's this general excitement about launching products and bringing them to market, as opposed to looking at it from a little bit more of a distance, a little bit more blasé, and saying like, okay, well, let's look at the reality of these products and these ideas and judge their sort of merits. I think both kinds of conferences have their own sort of pluses and minuses, but it was a lot of fun to be at this one because of the general sort of excitement around a lot of these products and ideas. The one thing I will give TechCrunch 50 well over the launch conference, I personally got invited to the VIP party last year at TechCrunch 50, which was a lot of fun and had a lot of delicious free food, and I did not get invited to the VIP party this year, and Al Gore was there, so I missed my chance to meet Vice President Al Gore, but President Al Gore, save for a ridiculous Supreme Court decision. We don't have to get into all that now. Let's not get on a tangent. Anyway, so there were so many companies presenting. I couldn't possibly talk about all the products and all the companies that I thought were really cool. I would run out of time. They maxed me out at 10 minutes on this thing, and believe me, I have checked. I have tried. I have pushed the very boundary of my 10 minutes. I don't know if they cut you off at 10 anymore. That might be a few years old already. I feel like I've seen non-partner videos go to like 12 or 13 now. Maybe I'm wrong. But anyway, I assume they cut me off at 10. Really, let's be reasonable. What more could you possibly need to see of some bearded guy with like crazy, frizzy, idiot-looking hair ranting about startups? 10's fine. Let's keep it to 10. So here were some of the companies that I thought were really cool that were at the event. Overstat was the first one. It's a analytics tool, but that's very like visual and intuitive, which is like right up my alley, because I love stuff like Chartbeat and Google Analytics, but you really there's a lot of numbers, there's a lot of crunching. You really have to be thinking about it. It's got a steep learning curve. It takes a while to really get the most out of analytics tools like that, and I'm sure I'm not getting everything out of them that I could be still after years of using both of them. Overstat is obviously not nearly as robust as those two, but it does give you a lot of cool little quick visual data about a web page, and it's it's instant. It's a lives in your browser and it rolls right over. So it just seemed like a really cool tool, something I'd look forward to playing with more. Cabana was another one. This is one of those apps that or websites that I wanted to be able to play around with more. Like, I haven't gotten a chance to go back and check out all these sites, but if they can do what they're saying they can do, it's totally amazing. They're saying basically, like, they can have any non-technical bozo like myself go use Cabana and design a mobile app. Like, could I really design a mobile app without really knowing how to design things or being a coder? They apparently seem to think that I can. So if there's one of those ideas that if the product matches up to the idea, that's totally revolutionary and super awesome, and I'd love to use it. Because I have ideas for apps a lot, and I just have no ability to, like, take an idea from my brain and put it onto a phone. Like, to be honest, you could probably talk to me for about 50 minutes and figure out exactly where, like, my knowledge of how apps actually work goes. Like, I'm sure you could dig to a level that's like, yeah, he really doesn't get how, like, it's like, what, somebody thinks of it and then they give it to, like, a smart guy who drinks Mountain Dew, and then they punch a bunch of keys for a while, and then it's on my phone and I slide things around. Like, I'm oversimplifying a little, but just a little. Let's move on, because I'm going to make myself unemployable in another minute or two. Shoot. Shoot was really clever. It's basically like detecting a real problem, which is if you use your phone as a camera a lot, you eventually end up with, like, this backlog of photos that are, like, stuck in the ghetto of your phone. And you'd like to just, like, have them on your computer or have them, like, at multiple different computers and other phones and, you know, wherever. But you have to, like, individually send them, and it's painstaking and, you know, kind of a pain in the butt. This is definitely an observation I think I and most other people have made. So Shoot is basically just, like, all your phones are, like, all your photos are, like, everywhere in the cloud. And so wherever you are, you know, as long as you have Shoot going, you can just grab your photos and repurpose them and just keep them organized so that it's not just like a bunch of random, like, photo 12, photo 17. Just a really good idea, really clever take on something that's like a little irritation that I think we all have that nobody would ever have thought, like, oh, that's a little irritation that we can probably fix doing something rather simple. Room 77 is, they won, like, the best. There were, you know, companies that already existed presenting that were 1.0, and then there were, like, companies that already existed that were launching new products. So, although 2.0. So I'm not talking about the 2.0 ones, because it's like Hipmunk and Stack Overflow and DocStock, and a lot of companies that have been out there and we all know and love and are well established. So I'm talking about the 1.0 companies. The winner overall, the best in 1.0, was this one, Room 77, which is lets you research individual hotel rooms where you're going to stay and get an idea for, like, the view and is it loud and, you know, all sorts of stuff. Mostly view-centric for now, but obviously they'll expand over time and the sorts of things they'll tell you. You know, really useful if you went to a hotel and you had your sort of set of preferences, and then you could look up which rooms that they're offering you are, like, a good match for what you're looking for. My mother would love this, because every time she checks into a hotel, in fact, she might not love this, because I think one of the things she enjoys about checking into a hotel is making them switch rooms a couple times until she gets one she likes. But she always does that, and this app is, like, perfect for those people, because then she could just go, like, what about room 322? That's the one I want. See right here. Then she would absolutely adore this. Tooth Tag. I thought if I was giving the Lon Harris Best in Show Award, which for some reason they didn't ask me to present, but I was really waiting for my chance, I would have given this Best in Show. It did win Best 1.0 Technology. I thought this was, like, the biggest cool factor of everything I saw at the show. It's an Android app, not iPhone. Thanks, Steve. I blame Jobs. Anyway, it basically, like, you can identify Bluetooth signals and then, like, tag them. So, like, that's my brother's Bluetooth signal. And then you can, like, basically set all kinds of preferences for it. So I could have my phone, like, buzz me when my brother is, like, in my radius. Or you could even, like, have a little Bluetooth device in your car and then have your phone and always know when you were getting close to your car, like, where your car was in relation to you. Like, you can think of, like, a million possible applications. Like, think about it. Like, there's so many things you could do with that concept. Like, it's really brilliant. I think they're really onto something there. Like, it's just, once you get it, you're like, oh yeah, like, there's all sorts of things you could do. I wish it was on iPhone. I'd love to try it out, even though I think my computer and my computers are, like, the only things I have that are Bluetooth. But still, awesome. And the last one that I want to talk about is Pen. I guess it's Pen.io, pen.io. You got to really see it to get it. Go to pen.io and sign up for your own. Mine's lons.pen.io. It's like a post-it note for the internet. Like, you can really quickly write something and publish it in, like, 2 seconds. So it's faster even than tweeting, maybe. It's definitely faster than blogging. And you can write whatever you want. It's a really simple, pretty, well-designed site. I was really impressed by it. So that is my launch conference roundup. I had a great time, really great event. Congratulations to Jason and the entire launch team. And that's LonsTV for this week. Maybe I'll do a Make Good this weekend because I missed so many shows, but I will definitely see you, if not then, this weekend or next week.